Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is Wednesday, August 7th, 2013, 3 in the morning. Mainland party takes a long time for the videos to render. That said, the round 3 results of Castaways versus Newlanders is uploading right now. What this is going to be, of course, is going to be our round 4 matchups. This is the Castaways Newlanders series. Essentially, this is what we're calling Stage 2. Stage 2, of course, pits Castaways versus Castaways and Newlanders versus Newlanders. Before we get started, Chase McCain is hidden. If you find him, feel free to chime in. You can also see a little bit better the newest addition to the collection here. If you didn't see it last time, maybe you'll see it this time. If you spot it, feel free to chime in with that as well. The way this works, this is basically a Skylanders Battle Series based on your votes on a blog poll. What we do, we come in, this isn't like a battle mode where you say, oh wow, Hot Dog would obliterate everyone. I want you to take that into consideration. But similarly, I want you to think, do I like Flashwing's pose better or do I like Sprocket's pose better? Which character's upgrade paths do I like better? Do I hate Wham-Shell's voice in the game? Which character out of these two matched up do I enjoy playing as more? Basically factor in everything. Obviously for some people you might be a huge Camo fan, and then like a huge Hot Dog fan, and then like maybe you're not particularly into Pop Fizz or Jet-Vac. You simply come in, compare the two head to head, factor in everything we talked about. The aesthetics of the figure, how well you like them, how you like playing them in the game. Maybe you're not a fan of Pop Fizz, in person, but in battle mode you're great with him. Maybe you're horrible with Jet-Vac in battle mode, but you love him in the game. Whatever, logic you've got, just come in, pile it all together, and essentially you're going to pick your favorite out of these matches. This time around, what I did on my little piece of paper here, I went ahead and did everything, make it easier for myself. I just put the combined records, and then I basically ranked them 1 through 8 for the Castaways, 1 through 8 for the Newlanders. That'll kind of give you an idea where they currently stand in terms of what will eventually be a tournament bracket. But with that said, let's go ahead and get started with round 4's first matchup. This pits Air Element Castaway Warnado going up against the Magic Element Castaway Voodood. Warnado comes in 5-3, 1-2 for an overall mark of 6-5. Meanwhile, Voodood comes in 3-5, 0-3 for a mark of 3-8. Really hard to read that. Warnado basically would be ranked 5th overall, and Voodood would be ranked 8th overall. Again, that is just strictly in the Castaway side of things there. So, essentially, like I said, in the intro here, pick your favorite character, base it on absolutely everything you can think of. What I didn't cover is where you can vote. That's on the blog, oneofwisdom.com. Go to the right-hand side. You'll see the search box at the top. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see the Twitter feed. This will be the first poll that you see, basically 4-1. Select your character, submit your vote. The polls will run until, I believe, Saturday, August 17th, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, I'm kind of getting a late start on this just because of how busy I've been, so that should give us a lot of time to get, pretty decent samples. And like I said, vote for your favorite character. Tell your friends. Maybe you're a huge Wham-Shell fan, and you want to see him be the one to take down Camo for the first time. Tell everyone that's a Wham-Shell person, get them involved. Like I always say, the more people we have, the better. And by all means, I can't stress this enough, vote. It's sort of the, like your two favorites, and you can't make a decision coming together. Just an example, last time, Shroomboom and Jet-Vac had, identical records. It turned out to be our closest match. It was 37-38. Shroomboom edged him by 1 vote. That's literally why it sounds cliche, but every vote truly does matter. But again, we've basically got number 5 Castaway Warnado going up against number 8 Castaway Voodood. Again, those rankings are based on their overall performance thus far in the Battle Series. Our next matchup is pretty interesting. I could see this one going in a number of different ways. We have the number 7 ranked Castaway, Dino-Rang, came in 5-3, did pretty well against the Newlanders. 0-3 against his fellow Castaways, overall mark of 5-6. Meanwhile, Boomer, just slightly ahead of him here. He came in 5-3, the same, but he has gone 1-2 against his fellow Castaways. Puts him at an overall mark of 6-5. Again, this should be based on the records and what we've seen in Epic Showdown. Basically, we've got 6 and 7 squaring off here. Think I know who I'd pick. I honestly don't know how to call this one. I do think it's going to be interesting. But again, Dino-Rang versus Boomer. Also, just for the record, I know who I would take in Warnado versus Voodood. This one could be interesting. Like I said, pretty much across the board, we're always going to have awesome matchups on the Castaways side. Sunburn, Fire Element Castaway, he comes in basically currently our number 4 overall Castaway. Has a mark of 6-2 against the Newlanders, 2-1 against his fellow Castaways. Obviously puts him at 8-3. Skating in to the frame, we have Ghost Roaster. He is our number 2 ranked Castaway at this point in time. 7-1 against the Newlanders. And then here against his fellow Castaways, perfect mark, 3-0. That puts him, of course, 10-1. So you got 8-3 Sunburn, 10-1 Ghost Roaster, going to go head to head. I know who I'd take here. This, in theory, should be an interesting matchup. I mean, we've got, number 2 versus number 4, basically. That's, pretty nice little matchup there. Think I know the way people lean. This one could be fairly close. It's, again, this one that's hard for me to predict. Just going to be fun to sit back, watch, and see what happens. Our next one is also an epic showdown in terms of the Castaways versus Castaways. We have Camo, the Fruit Dragon. He is an absolute beast. Got a perfect mark still. 8-0 against the Newlanders, 3-0 just like Ghost Roaster against his fellow Castaways. Puts him at 11-0, best mark of anyone. He is our number 1 ranked person overall, and of course with the Castaways. He is facing off against the ever-resilient and popular Wham-Shell. Wham-Shell comes in 7-1, very nice performance against the Newlanders. 2-1 against his fellow Castaways. He is the number 3 ranked Castaway. So, Ghost Roaster Sunburn, 2 versus 4. Camo Wham-Shell, 1 versus 3. This is essentially what you would see, in like a, big-time tournament, possibly. Definitely know what I would do here. I think I know how people are going to go. That said, what could surprise me? You just never know. Our next matchup will be the very first in the Newlanders side of the game. Not quite sure what to expect from this one. I'm trying to... I'll go through my marquee and biggest blowout coming up. Jet-Vac comes in. He had a heartbreaking loss in round 3 against Shroomboom. Got beat by 1 vote. If you're a Jet-Vac fan and you didn't vote, he has a message for you. You're welcome. As it stands, 1-7 against the Castaways, 0-3 against his fellow Newlanders. Puts him, of course, at 1-10. That is good for last place. He's tied up with a few others, but we'll call it 8 based on what we've seen. That said, Fizz comes in. He has a mark of 5-3 against the Castaways. That was actually very respectable. 3-0 against his fellow Newlanders. These guys are on basically complete opposite spectrums. I say that Jet-Vac is number 8 in terms of our Newlander rankings. Fizz is number 1 in terms of our Newlander rankings. Realize he has the same mark as Hot Dog. That said, he just beat Hot Dog in a head-to-head showdown. Hence the discrepancy there. But again, vote for your favorite, and we will see what happens. Our next matchup Flashwing. She comes in, our Earth Element Newlander. She has a mark of 1-7 against the Newlanders, 2-1 against her fellow. I'm sorry, 1-7 against Castaways, 2-1 versus the Newlanders. Overall, she's sitting at 3-8. Believe it or not, that is actually good for 4th place amongst the Newlanders. Big reason for that, the Castaways are very tough. And now here at Newlander, we're going to see people bump up and kind of get some separation there at the bottom. That said, she is facing Tech Element Newlander Sprocket. Sprocket comes in. She has a mark of 1-7 and 0-3, puts her at 1-10. Have her ranked 7th, just slightly above Jet-Vac. Basically, it's a long strength of schedule type thing I won't even go into. But that said, basically we have Flashwing, who is 4, Sprocket, who is 7. Should be an interesting match. Think I know what people will do, definitely know what I would do. We will see what happens. Our next matchup, let me think about this here. I'll go ahead and say this is probably, and at least in terms of headlining, this is probably our most intense Newlander showdown. Hot Dog was just beaten by Pop Fizz in round 3. Still comes in. He is our number 2 Newlander at this point in time. He has a mark of 6-2, 2-1, overall record of 8-3, which is very respectable. Fright Rider is kind of not at the bottom with everyone else, and he's not at the top with Hot Dog and Pop Fizz. He is our number 3 ranked Newlander. Obviously, when you have 2 and 3 squaring off, things should get intense. And since Hot Dog's involved, you know it'll be hot. But Fright Rider, 3-5 against the Castaways, 3-0, undefeated, perfect mark against his fellow Newlanders. Just took down Flashwing last time. Puts him at 6-5, again, good for 3rd overall. Pretty sure I know how everyone's going to vote on this one. That said, I'd love to be wrong. Should be interesting, though. I feel like the Fright Rider faction probably going to stay loyal to him. Could make things interesting. Similarly, there may be people from the Pop Fizz faction, we'll say, that just took down Hot Dog. Maybe they want to see Hot Dog go down again, join the Fright Rider bandwagon. Never really know how it's going to pan out, but this is the number 2 versus number 3. Should be pretty fun to watch how that one develops. Our final matchup here, like I said, these videos go about, half the time of the result videos. We have Shroomboom, who is very much alive. He actually took down Jet-Vac. He's got to be feeling good, even though it was 1 vote. He definitely appreciates the love. He comes in as our number 5. Yeah, number 5 ranked Newlander. Mark of 1-7 against the Castaways. 1-2 against his fellow Newlanders. Puts him at 2-9. Doesn't sound good, but again, that's actually good for 5th place overall, so he's got to be happy about that. Sliding in from the right, we have Chill. She picked up her very first win of the entire tournament last time against Sprocket. Got to make her feel good. She came in 0-8 winless against the Castaways. She was the only one to go completely winless against them. Here against her fellow Newlanders, she has gone 1-2. That puts her at an overall mark of 1-10, tied with Jet-Vac and Sprocket. But since she did beat Sprocket, gives her the edge. She's our number 6 overall. Basically what that means, we have number 5 versus number 6. I know what I would do here. Based on what we saw with Jet-Vac and Shroomboom, as close as that one was, I have no clue what to expect from everyone voting. Again, I think a lot of what happened with your Jet-Vac, Shroomboom, Chill, Sprocket, Flashwing, they just performed. And again, it's not that they did bad, it's just you have to realize the Castaways are some of the best Skylanders out there. It remained extremely popular. Even Voodood and Boomer, have gotten some much needed love and respect since, they originally appeared. Very hard for anyone to do good against them. The fact that, Pop Fizz and Hot Dog came in, with decent marks actually speaks volumes. But for those, Jet-Vac, Shroomboom, Chill, Sprocket, etc., Flashwing down at the bottom. It's like I said when we were setting this up, this is really what's going to set these apart and going to line them up. We'll see, can Jet-Vac beat some of these other Newlanders and kind of bump up the rankings? Will he stay the same, etc.? This is one of those matches. Shroomboom and Chill. Going to be interesting to see how it goes. It's like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I didn't really get to think this out. I'm just trying to get it done, so I can go to bed. I'm trying to pin down our biggest blowout and marquee matchup. Just looking at it, I mean, you'd have to say Sunburn Ghost Roaster catches your eye. Camo Wham-Shell catches your eye too. That's 1 versus 3. I think I'll call that our marquee matchup, Camo versus Wham-Shell. For me personally, it's far from marquee. That said, they're 2 big names, both very popular. I think I know how it's going to turn out. It probably won't be our closest one, but it's the one, if you had to pick one of these matches that would get people's attention, I feel like that one would do it. Like I said, though, 2 versus 4, Ghost Roaster Sunburn, that ought to be pretty good. In reality, Boomer and Dino-Rang ought to be pretty interesting. It just doesn't have the flash, a Camo Wham-Shell. On the Newlander side, in terms of marquee match, I'd have to say Hot Dog Fright Rider. Again, I'm not sure that would be the closest one there. It's just the one that really kind of gets your attention to what's going on. Biggest blowout. Let's see here. Definitely, I don't see it being on the Castaways side. Jeez. Fright Riders performed well. Flashwing. I'm gonna have to say, I think this one's gonna be pretty close. Biggest blowout. Let's see. I will go ahead and call Pop Fizz Jet-Vac. Again, doesn't necessarily reflect my personal opinion. It's just based on what I've seen from the votes so far. Feel pretty good with that one. Sprocket Flashwing may also be somewhere in there. Tightest race. What one we have? Shroomboom Chill. That's a possibility. Sprocket Flashwing. That could be tied or blow. I really don't know what to expect from that one. Boomer Dino-Rang, that's another one I think will be tight. But that basically covers everything for you. You know the drill. What you need to do now, the polls are actually live right now. Before this video has even been edited, is rendered, and is uploading, the polls are active on the blog. Probably means people in Australia and New Zealand will be the first to vote. So for everyone here in America, when you wake up or get home from work or whatever you got going on tomorrow, should probably see a few votes. You can kind of see how things are going. Cast your own. Again, right hand side of the blog, oneofwisdom.com. Scroll down, you'll see the Twitter feed. Right below there, you'll see Warnado, Voodood. It'll end with Shroomboom and Chill. Cast your vote, click vote, submit whatever it is. Tell your friends, pull for your favorites, spread the word. Let's get as many people as we can involved in this one. Again, this last round 3 was a great turnout. Had roughly 75 votes in each poll. Hopefully we can replicate that. Like I said, the more the merrier. We get like a better sample. If I just had 10 Ghost Roaster fans or something, it'd be easily predictable. The more we get involved, the better. It kind of, like I said, just gives you overarching sample. Other thing you can do here on YouTube, on the blog, I'll have a link at the top of the video description, social media, whatever floats your boat. Come in. I want to know what matchup you think will be the biggest blowout. I want to know which matchup you think will be the tightest. Go ahead, feel free to come in, say which characters you pick to win and why. Like I said, the main thing here is just to have fun. This is another outlet for your Skylanders. I'm able to put it together, and I appreciate everyone voting. Makes it more interesting, and like I said, just kind of another way we can enjoy the Skylanders and match them up. Again, if battle mode was CPU option, I would record a ton of stuff for you. As is, it would be myself versus me, and I am not capable of using my feet to use the nunchuck while my hand has the Wiimote, so it would be pretty boring. It would basically be turn versus turn. A match would probably take like 40 minutes or something ridiculous. This, as it turns out, is a pretty good alternative. What sets it apart, again, don't just think, oh, battle mode Pop Fizz is going to decimate Jet-Vac. Say, hey, I actually like Jet-Vac's gameplay better than ration out, but you like Pop Fizz's, upgrade path better. And then you like Jet-Vac's voice acting better, and then, which that's a tough call there, actually. That's a good battle, just the voice acting on those two. That said, though, then you'd say, well, I like Pop Fizz's pose better, so he'd have the edge there. Basically, factor in everything under the sun, whatever you can come up with. Pose, gameplay, upgrades, availability, coloring, voice acting, upgrades, the soul gem, whatever you want to do. Just bottom line, you're picking your favorite out of the two going head to head. Like I said, I appreciate everybody voting and participating. Polls, once more, can be found oneofwisdom.com, right hand side, just below the Twitter feed. Speaking of that, you can follow me on Twitter. You can like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Make sure to subscribe for all the latest here, and around the 17th of August, we will have round 4 results right after that. Round 5 matchups. We'll go ahead, we will introduce the new polls, everything like that. But again, once more, thanks for watching, and I guess until next time, we will catch you later.